Welcome back to another Genshin Impact theory video. As y'all know, Hoyoverse just made a shocking reveal of all the Fatui Harbingers in the Teyvat chapter interlude teaser, A Winter Night's Lazo. But that's not all, as there are some hidden details and Easter egg within the new video, so be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and let's begin. First, we can see a Crimson Lotus moth flying in a dark background surrounded by snow. This is the same moth that we can see during Signora's boss fight. As the video transitions into the next scene, we can see the very first Harbinger, that is Pierro, codenamed the Jester. The first thing he mentioned was,
"The sages think themselves to be all-knowing, but we alone are wise to the virtue in those acts of folly."
Now, based on our understanding, it is possible that he was talking about the Sumeru sages. To support this theory, listen to this dialogue from Teyvat chapter storyline preview from Dainsleif.
In the city of scholars, there is a push for folly, yet the god of wisdom makes no argument against it.
Both Pierro and Dainsleif mention about the acts of folly, so it is possible that the Fatuis are committing said acts. Right after that, we can see a pawn was knocked off by the knight in the chess game and a Crimson Lotus moth landed on it. It is a possible nod to Signora, symbolized as the pawn, is defeated by Raiden Shogun, who was the knight. In the following scenes, we can see other newly revealed Harbingers. We can see Damezelet singing Signora's boss theme as she was leaning on a coffin. A cool Easter egg if you ask me. As for Pantalon, he is most likely the one in charge of Northland Bank in Liyue, as he mentioned about it. In that particular scene with Arlecchino, she mentioned something about not wanting to make the children cry. It is probably a nod to the children in her orphanage, House of the Hearth. It is quite possible that children from the orphanage are trained to be Fatui Soldiers. After all, it only makes sense for a Harbinger who owns an orphanage to do that. There is also a Capitano who mentioned Lohefalter. It is very likely that it is another name of Signora besides Rosaline.
Lohefalter's sacrifice is a great pity.
After that, Capitano asked Dottore regarding news on Scaramouche and the Electro Gnosis. Based on this dialogue, it is possible that Dottore is in charge of tracking Scaramouche. Dottore, on the other hand, mentioned something about divine knowledge and conquering the divine gaze. This might be a nod to Scaramouche carrying out his plans with the Electro Gnosis. Dottore also looked older and different in the new video as compared to the manga where he was younger. As Pierro appeared from the shadows, we can see his eyes that has similar star-like design as Dainsleif. So is it possible that he is from Khaenri'ah as well? Is he trying to take revenge on the gods who was responsible on the destruction of his home? I guess we'll find out one day. As the 9 Harbingers gather around Signora's coffin without Scaramouche, we are given a point of view which is possibly the Tsaritsa. It will only make sense for her to attend the funeral of one of her Fatui Harbingers since it's been a long time since the Harbingers gather for an occasion. Not to forget, she was probably the one playing chess with Pierro, as we can see an icy mist emitting from the night piece. The Tsaritsa most likely frees the tomb of Signora to signify her final resting place and keep it out from others. Pierro mentioned something about the old world as he made a promise to Signora.
But Rosaline, I promise you, your final resting place will be the entirety of the old world.
It is probably the current Teyvat world we know now, whereas the new world is the one where Teyvat no longer has Celestia and its Archons. As we were approaching the end of the video, a dialogue is heard between possibly Damezelet due to the sweet voice and Dottore. She mentioned how young the doctor is today. Now, this particular dialogue conveys a message where Dottore was older before. Damezelet then asked about the location of the segment in the prime of his life. And then we see a shot of another Dottore who is dressed slightly different. It is possible that Dottore can create segments or clones of himself regardless how young or old they can be. The segment in the prime of his life probably refers to his clones that are living as Dottore at some point in his life when he was at his prime. We can also see a huge tree burning in the background that looked low-key like that Earth tree in Elden Ring. The tree could be from Sumeru. As we all know, every region has a unique tree that stands out than the rest, like the Windrise tree in Mondstadt, the big glowing tree in Liyue where Ishtaha resides underneath, and Thunder Sakura in Inazuma. The burning tree should be a unique tree to Sumeru for the Dottore segment to burn down. Not to mention he was said to be carrying out blasphemy.
He's busy with a little experiment in blasphemy.
which is basically an offensive act towards a religion or god. It is possible that Dottore is trying to anger the Dandro Archon of Sumeru and draw her out in order to steal her Gnosis. Either that or he just want to burn the tree down for fun to let the people of Sumeru go into panic mode. So that is all we can offer in today's video. Take some time to digest those delicious yet huge portion of theories. If you have any theories of your own, don't be shy to share. Your opinions are always welcome. As always, don't forget to give a like, share and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.